Hello, everyone, and welcome to Coffee and Hymns. August of 2023. Holy moly, we're halfway through the year. More than halfway? I don't know. It's good to see you, Lindy. I see you're on the chat. Thanks for being here. That was the opening, or that for the opening song that you just heard. That was the Magnificat by Robert Lebel. So French language, Canadian congregational song, and that was during our French language hymn festival on Tuesday night of the Hymn Society's conference in a beautiful space, Church of St. Andrew and St. Paul. And I really, when I was listening through all the literature ahead of the conference, that one really stuck with me. And then to hear it live was a wonderful moment. So I wanted to share that one because this episode is favorite conference moments, or some moments that really stuck out to me in particular. Now, of course, I was only in one place at one time, and there was lots of things going on. So you may have, if you were there, you may have different moments that stuck out for you. In fact, that's one of the funny things about reading the conference evaluations, is inevitably something that I or you think, wow, that was kind of a stinker, or that didn't go very well. Someone else will say that was the most meaningful moment of the whole conference for me. And then something that I'll say, that was the most meaningful moment of the conference for me. Someone else will say, that was not well done. And so it's one of those beauty in the eyes of the beholder kind of deals. So I'm going to share a few things that were just meaningful to me. I hope you enjoy them. Some great literature. The other thing that I wanted to highlight in this episode by sharing some of these little clips of various songs and moments is the breadth of genre and soundscapes that people soak in, receive, participate in during a Hymn Society conference. If you haven't never been to a Hymn Society conference, I really encourage you to go. I don't just say that because I run the conference on the programmatic side, but our program committees every year, they do a great job of really trying to hold in tension the variety of denominations and congregational song practices across the U.S. and Canada and across the globe during our conferences, and make sure that there is a wide set of representation. I think that really came through this year. So the next one that I wanted to share is from the opening hymn fest. So that was a French Canadian song. The next one is from the opening hymn festival on Sunday night. We did a retrospective of some of the literature from the World Council of Churches meeting last year, and the Red Crearte team was helped, and some of the planning committee members did videos to highlight various parts. One of my favorite parts was I got to lead this setting of Psalm 133 from Hungary, and I'll kind of start it in the middle of the song. The refrain is very playful, and because the congregation, the Hymn Society congregation, they're just right there with you. They know exactly what to do. They know to watch. You can really have fun as a song leader, rather than kind of being anxious about whether they'll participate or whether they'll follow you or anything. You can just go for it. And so that's what I got to do here. So here we go. Let me share this.
But nothing compares to the sound when God's people play together as they really were one. Here is the blessing to believe. God composes life and music so
so, so much fun. So much fun. I mean, the refrain, it's just la la la, right? So, I guess technically you're singing in Hungarian, but it's, it's an what Italo called a non-lexical syllable. I think that's what it's called. Anyways, and so people can just sing it and just have fun, which is perfect for Psalm 133. How good it is that we dwell together in unity. That we don't have to worry about language. We don't have to worry about thinking as much about it. We can just be in the moment together, fully unified in song. I love that setting. You can find it on the World Council of Churches website under the resource liturgical book from the gathering. So it's available online for free. As long as you give attribution, you can use it. It's a great song. And the verses are all bilingual, both in the original Hungarian and in English in the book, if I remember correctly. Oh gosh, what else? What else? Another wonderful moment that'll always be in my memory, and something that I hold dear in my heart was the Monday night hymn festival. Jonathan Miracle, who's a Mohawk elder, and was gracious enough to say yes to our invitation, even though he didn't really know who the hymn study was. We try to balance presenters who really know us and are already a part of our community and can speak directly to us in that way, as well as voices that really come from the outside, folks who aren't a part of our community, who don't really know who we are, so that we can continue to learn from and connect with and broaden our horizons. And Jonathan really helped us do that, I think, in many ways. So at the beginning of his hymn festival, he invited me up to drum with him and the other Native person who was with us, Kenny Wallace, who did Dr. Kenny Wallace, who did our opening plenary. So I got to drum with a Mohawk elder, which was very difficult because while the rhythms aren't necessarily that difficult, the way you play it and the way you sit, I found out, all of these things have particular meaning, and there's a ritual to it. And so you have to pay very close attention, and you have to understand, which I found out when we were rehearsing the 30 minutes before this happened. You have to understand when to mimic the leader. So Jonathan was the leader, and sometimes you mimic them directly so that they can lead whatever's happening with tempo and style of playing and loudness and things like that. But sometimes they do their own thing, and you have to just kind of understand by doing it and watching other people who are more experienced. So I watched Kenny a good bit, who wasn't leading the circle, but he was the other participant who was more knowledgeable than me. You have to know when not to mimic them, because sometimes the leader does honor strikes and things like that everyone else is not supposed to do. Only the elder or the leader is supposed to do it. So it was a fascinating learning experience, and I was really honored to be invited to do it. So here is that opening song with the drumming.
It's a song that's been around for a while, and it comes from an old Mohawk chant, "The River of Life."
So it continues on. There's at the big right at the end of that segment. It was the beginning of the B section, or like a little bridge, which was the more difficult part to sing and to chant back. But man, I'll never forget that experience. Just a wonderful time. All right, wow. Now all of those examples were from the hymn festivals, which are online on the YouTube, on the Hymn Society's YouTube channel, which you're on right. If you're watching this, you're on the Hymn Society's YouTube channel. So you can just go to YouTube, search for the Hymn Society. We have a channel, and in our live stream section, there's all of these hymn festivals that are available in the descriptions. So like the little video descriptions, there's a link to the programs. So if there's any music available, you can click there and then you can download the program for the hymn festival. So you can look as well as see, although a lot of times we're showing the slides so that people could participate live. So yeah, two more things. Let's see. Just to continue to show the breadth, we've had like organ-based French Canadian song, piano and bass and tambourine for the Hungarian piece, then Mohawk chant with drum and shaker. Then we also had let's see, the session on the Quebec culture. No, let's end with that one because it's very fun. So we'll end with that one. We'll go to the morning prayer. Morning prayer was led by two of our Brazilian members. One is living in San Antonio and Waco, Maria Monteiro, and one is living now in Canada while he's doing his master's in sacred music, and Emmanuel Abner. And they just did a wonderful job of putting together morning prayers that were both meaningful but also eclectic in genre and style. So it was really representative. And so while we did some Brazilian songs and we did some standard hymnody and kind of Western European style hymnody and a variety of things, this we did a kind of Lutheran / Anglican chant style. It's from the Evangelical Lutheran Worship book. So I guess technically it's Lutheran, but it was just wonderful to have a good cantor leading with a good pianist and a congregation who knew exactly what to do. And I just remember it going, oh yeah, this is what chant, like congregational responsorial chant, is supposed to be like. And I just found it lovely. So Liam, I believe Liam Butler's the cantor from the eastern islands of Canada. So this is, I can't even remember what psalm it is, but it may pop up on the screen. So I hope you enjoy this chant from the Evangelical Lutheran book. Let's see. There we go.
You have been gracious to your land, O Lord.
don't know, something about it was, maybe it was because it was the third day of the conference, the last full day of the conference. And and all the technology was working finally. And I had a chance to actually enter into the morning prayer. But I remember that moment being a moment where I could actually take a breath, and pray, with the congregation and with the leaders. So that one really stuck out to me. Later on in that prayer, then we ended up dancing. The closing song was a song written by Abner, and had a dance that they had been kind of teaching progressively each morning, and people ended up dancing around the room. So we went from this very peaceful chant and a silent meditation on art, and then into this kind of high energy dance to conclude. And the morning prayers were well crafted this year, and I'm always grateful for those, because it gets us started in the right way. Maybe that's a word for this Coffee and Hymns, is the importance of starting our day with worship, kind of centering ourselves on God, centering our bodies and our minds and spirits. It's really easy to just get up and start. That's what I did today. I got up, I made my coffee, I got going, setting things up, so that I could be here with you this morning. But maybe I should have taken that 5 or 10 minutes and to just pray, sing a song. And maybe that's what this is for you, and that would be great if that's something that this does for you, just to help you stop for a moment and listen or sing to a couple of songs, and just not be in the busyness of the world. Then Coffee and Hymns has done its job. So I'll take a sip of my coffee, and what we're going to conclude with, is a session. Now this one's not public yet. It will be eventually, but for the rest of the year, it'll still be behind the paywall for our registrants to honor the fact that they register for the conference and stuff. But this duo is from Quebec, and they did a session on Quebec song, not necessarily in the church, because of the split between the secular song culture and the church. A lot of kind of Quebec song is not churchy. And the program community wanted to highlight that, and to show that people do sing together in French language, just not necessarily always in the church. And so what does that sound like? What does that look like? And this was one of their opening songs, which has like a really playful refrain where they're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Quebec. So you'll have fun with that. But before we end with that song, just a quick announcement that if you're looking for me on Hymn Society business, or really any congregational song business at all, over the next 6 or 7 weeks, you're not going to find me, because the Hymn Society has wonderfully and graciously included, for full-time employees, and there's 2 of us, every 7 years we're eligible for a sabbatical. So I get an extra 6 or 7 weeks of just paid time off, where I can take a breath and relax and rejuvenate. So for the first week or 2, I'm just going to spend time with my family. I'm going to rest. I'm going to sleep in as much as possible with 2 children. Hopefully I'll be able to sleep in at least one day. And then I'm going to take my son on his first international trip to spend some time in the UK. And I'm going to visit John Bell in Glasgow, and Ian McLarty, who I got to know last year during the World Council meeting. And then we're going to go to the Greenbelt Festival, which is a festival of music, faith, and theology and action. We're going to camp in a field and just kind of be hippies for 4 days, I guess. It's going to be super fun. Hopefully learn a lot and sing a lot. And then finish with a few days in London. So that'll be Jacob's first time overseas. My son, he's 9. And so I hope that'll be a great father-son trip. And then I'll start getting back into action. So if you have any questions about Hymn Society business, please email office@thehymnsociety.org, not me. I will get back to you, but it'll be a while. So thank you. If you're a Hymn Society member, thank you for being a part of an organization that does provide that, because it's really important to take a breath, take a rest, and rejuvenate. So I'm looking forward to that. So here is the session on Quebec culture and song. I hope you enjoy it, and then after that we'll end our live stream. So this will be the end for me. All right, here we go. Let me get it.
I'll start just with a short song for you to start. I wanted to know if you were able to count in French from 1 to 7, and then say the word Quebec. We'll try that all together. I rely on you to try it. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Québec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Québec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Québec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Québec. Si j'avais les ailes d'un ange, je partirais pour Québec. Si j'avais des lumières sur mon bike, je partirais pour
Québec.
Si j'avais plus de gasoline, je monterais toutes les belles collines. Et quand la noirceur sera venue, j'allumerai des lumières pour ma vue. Et je roulerai dans la nuit, en chantant cette belle mélodie. OK.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Québec.
1, 2, 3,
4, 5, 6, 7.
Québec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Québec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Québec. Wow.
Great, great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, we'll go straight to a call and response song. It's a traditional song.